Greetings, programmers. In this episode, I want to look at how we would do point collision detection in Java. So what I want to do, I want to start with the mouse program that we developed in episode 3 of this series. And basically what we're going to do is I want to create a class called point collision. Okay. And what we're going to do, again, I'm going to take the mouse code. I'm just going to copy and paste it because I don't want to reinvent the wheel here. Okay. And when you do this, by the way, remember that you do need to change all of the class references. So here we have the mouse, and I need to change that to point collision, or whatever you choose to name your class file. And I need to rename that in every location that it appears. So in the constructor, and then in the main method where we create it. So I'm going to compile and test this to make sure that I got all of the instances. It looks like I did, and let's run it real quick and see if it works. Okay, so I can move it around clicking. Very good. Very fine, very fine. Alright, so what I want to do is I want to test to see if I can click inside that circle. So the way that I'm going to do this is we're going to create a bounding box around that circle. To do that, I'm going to use a rectangle. Rectangle lives in the java.awt class, so as long as you have java.awt imported, we can create that. So I'm going to create a rectangle, and we'll call this target, and that's going to be the location of the target on the screen. Okay. And I'm going to replace these x and y coordinates with this rectangle. So I'm going to say that we're going to begin at 320, 240, and the rectangle takes 4 parameters. The first 2 are the x and y coordinates, and then the second 2 is the width and height of the rectangle that we're going to be using. Alright, I'm going to set this to 30 by 30. Okay, and we no longer need this x and y, so I'm going to delete that. And that'll kind of help me as well as I move forward to check to make sure that I've fixed all my code. So let's look at anywhere where I'm referencing the x and y. So here we go. In mouse clicked, I have this x and y. So this will actually be target.x is equal to mouse x, and target.y equals mouse y. Okay. And then we'll come into the fill oval, and we're going to say target.x minus 25, target.y minus 25, and here we'll do target.width. Let me bring this down to the next level here, and target.height. Now remember, in Java we can have as much white space as we want, so it's perfectly acceptable to break your functions if they have very long variable names in them across multiple lines to make it easier to read. Alright, now the reason why I didn't change any functionality, I just changed the variable names, is I wanted to make sure that this still worked. So if I run my point collision class, it should still show the circle on the screen, and wherever I click it should move the circle there. Very good. Now one thing it did do that I don't like, I actually gave the width and height of my circle incorrectly. Let me go fix that real quick. I said it was 30, it's actually 50, and I have some magic numbers in there. I shouldn't be subtracting 25 when I draw it. I should be subtracting half the width of the object. But for this toy example, it's not really going to matter that much. Okay, so our program now works, and we're ready to look at the collision detection. So what we want to do is come into the mouse clicked, because what we're going to do is to click, that point where we click is the point we want to check for the collision. So what we're going to do is in the mouse clicked, we get the point where the mouse is clicked, and then what I want to do is check the target to see if it contains that point. So I'm going to ask if target.contains the mouse. Okay, and this takes the mouse location X and Y and compares it in the target. And because it's a point, it will work with that. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this. Oh, actually I do need this. So let's move these inside of our if statement. And by the way, if you have BlueJ, Control-Shift-I will reformat your code to make it look better. One of the reasons why I like using BlueJ. It's a pretty cool feature. Okay, so what I want to do, if the target contains the mouse, I want to reset its position to a random location on the screen. So, how do I do that? So, int math.random times, I believe the width of the screen is 640. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing down here. Int math.random times 480 should be the height of the screen. Okay. All right. So compile and save that. Make sure that it works. So we're going to test it real quick. So if I click inside the circle, it should move it. It didn't move it. Okay, sorry about that cut jump. I took a little time to test this out, and it has to do with a quirk with mouse clicked. It doesn't always work. So let me show you. When we run this, I can click on it, and sometimes it will work, but not always. So what we can do, instead of using the mouse clicked, I actually like to use mouse released. Mouse press is not a good one to do because it does it continuously, but mouse released only happens one on a click. So using mouse released and using the same program, now it's going to reliably move every time that we click on it. Okay. There we go. Okay, and so actually, oh, I see. So the other thing here, yeah, we do need to get rid of this minus 25. I was trying to center the circle, and that's another thing that is preventing this from working correctly. Because let me show you what's going on here. There's the bounding box around the circle. Let's draw that bounding box. And actually, let's do this. I'm going to keep the minus 25 here to show you exactly what happened. So that is the circle itself. Let's go ahead and draw the bounding box. And let's draw the bounding box in magenta. Okay, and this time we're just going to draw the rectangle that is the bounding box. So it's going to be target.x, target.y, target.width, target.height. When we draw that rectangle, that is the bounding box of that object. So when I run this, you see that if I click off it inside this bounding box, so it's drawing it incorrectly. To fix that, you just get rid of the minus 25 in this, and then your collision detection will work correctly. It might still work with a clicked. It does misregister very often, though. Okay, and now we have a much more reliable click interface. Okay, and you can also see the bounding box. Now, one of the things I want you to notice about this bounding box is you can click in these little black triangles on the edge of the circle, and it still will register as a hit. So that's an important thing to remember about this type of collision detection, and be aware of that as you develop products that use this. So think about how you might use this in your own programs. Play around with it, test it. Make sure that you understand it. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. If you like this video, please leave a like and share it with your friends. It would help me out immensely, and it would encourage me to make more videos in Java. So thank you for your time. I'm just going to scroll through the code here really slowly to make sure you have it all. So you can pause. Okay, just final check on what we got here. And there you go. Have a great day. Have fun. Enjoy programming.